Hey guys, it's Jeff Stewart Johnson here. Back, we're going to talk again about some things that I think are kind of indispensable tools to use in the kitchen before meal prep to make it simple, make it easy, and save you time. Because that's really what this is all about. It's about making things more efficient, saving time in our daily lives, all right? So the first thing I talked about was a sous vide. Really takes the guesswork out of cooking, really makes it so you can cook perfect chicken breast, perfect steak every time without even having to know how to cook. And that's a pretty huge thing, right? Also takes very little time. Well, the next thing I've got is a foolproof way to cook rice, right? You know, we've already got our protein down, now we need to get our carbs. Especially if you're a guy who's looking to put on some size, you're gonna have to pound away a lot of carbs. And to me, there's no better carb source than rice. It's easy on the stomach, you can eat a lot of it, and it's just delicious. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna use, what else? A rice cooker. Real simple. You're gonna follow the instructions that come with the rice cooker. This particular one, pretty simple. It comes with its own measuring cup, and it tells you exactly how much water to fill in the thing. I mean, it really couldn't be any simpler than this. So, got a big bag of jasmine rice. I prefer jasmine rice. It's got a kind of a floral effect to it. It's, to me, this is the best tasting rice out there. And honestly, if you're gonna be eating a lot of this stuff, you want it to taste good. It's real simple. I'm just gonna take this measuring cup. I'm gonna make the max allowed in my rice cooker, which is 3 cups. These aren't actual cups. You actually have to save this measuring cup. 2 and 3. Real simple. Now, the next bit is a little bit of a trick. A lot of people think rice is boring, it's not super tasty. Well, one of the things that I found that can make a world of difference in upping your rice game is just a little bit of chicken broth. Well, we've already established that you're probably watching this because you're not a big home cooker. You don't have a lot of time. So what do? This stuff is liquid gold right here. Actually, I guess it would be gelatinous gold. Better Than Bouillon, it's called. It's just basically like chicken broth concentrated into an almost like paste, and you dilute it in water. Now, the key is this stuff will not dilute very well on its own, so you gotta use some hot water. So, I had microwaved for 2 minutes, about a cup of water, and a very scientific amount of this stuff, which is, I don't know, what do you call that? Tablespoon and a half. I'm just gonna put that in there, and I want to dissolve this stuff first before I put it in with the rice. That way I'm just gonna go to the sink, I'm gonna fill up this thing to the fill line. It has a line literally inside the insert of the rice cooker to tell you exactly how much rice to use depending on how many cups you used. And then you're gonna see what goes from there. All right, so I'm just gonna dump this guy in. We got a little bit left on the sides there. Scrape that out, because I want to make sure I use all of this. This is the flavor that I'm going to get. And you can't see here, but there's, like I said, there's a little pre-marked line in there. I filled that preset line. Put this insert in. This is why I love the rice cooker. One button. Boom, done. In about 20-25 minutes, we're going to have some perfectly cooked rice. It's actually going to taste like something because we got some bouillon in there. There's some other tricks you could use. You could use coconut water if you want like a coconut flavor. You could throw in some cilantro, some lime juice, anything like that. I keep it pretty simple. Again, same as my chicken. I want to use different flavors depending on what I'm eating. So I don't want to flavor it too much. I just want to give it a base level of seasoning, if you will. So that's that. We'll come back to that when it's done. But overall, you can't use any excuses with that. Can't really think of anything easier. All right, guys, back. So again, 20-25 minutes later, our rice cooker's all done. So all we're going to do now is we're going to take it out. I'm just going to use some mitts because it is pretty hot. Now you'll see it's just finished up here, so it will go to warm. If you leave it in there too long, it's going to dry out. So we do want to take it off at a reasonable time. But it's real simple here. Now, here it is. Thing's all done. All All right, so here you see we got the rice. We got our little special spoon included, so it doesn't scratch it up. I'm just gonna fluff this a little bit. And you can see here the nice color we get from it, from that chicken broth. It's got a little bit of that kind of yellow feel to it. Again, you know, making this taste a little bit better is going to make it much more likely to eat. And you're going to, again, you know, I think rice is the perfect starchy carb to have when you're trying to gain weight, especially because it's not super filling. You can go a lot of different ways, really easy to change it up. And if you're dieting, it can be a great source too, because again, you know what, a full cup of this is about 45 grams of carbs. Really not a whole lot. You're talking about 180 calories there for something that's filling. It's got a little, you know, tiny bit of protein in it. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you're going to want to mix this with some beans to get a full spectrum protein. You know, it's just, again, it's a backbone of the world. You know, something I can't recommend enough. And there you have it. You've got rice cooker rice, flavored with a little bit of chicken broth. Really delicious, really simple, easy way to cook. Again, you don't have to cook. You don't have to know how to cook to do this. You don't have to have any experience, any knowledge. Really, any time. You're just going to throw a couple ingredients into a pot, push start. Again, there's lots of tools now that make these things easier, Instapots, things like that. I just have a rice cooker. To me, that's really all I need it for, and I like to keep it simple. All right. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.